everyone, welcome to Lotus Yoga Online. This is a short sequence built to open up your chest and release any chest, shoulder, or upper back tension. Let's go ahead and start down on our belly. So you can come face down on your yoga mat. Tonight we're going to be using a couple of props. If you don't have yoga blocks at home, that's okay. You can grab a couple of books. They're a great substitute. Maybe a pillow or a blanket or two if you need it. Let's start with a few cobra rolls. Tint your fingers a little bit wider than your mat. Let your elbows come up to the ceiling and your forehead down towards your mat. On your inhale, press down through your fingers. Start to lift your shoulders. Drop your elbows down by the ribs. Pull your heart forwards. Exhale, release. Do that again. Inhale. Drop your elbows, pull chest forwards. Activate through the back body, then release. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Extend your left arm straight out to the left side, in line with your shoulder or just a little bit lower than your shoulder. If that's too much in your shoulder, you can always bend your elbow and pull elbow close to your ribs. Ground your right palm by the ribs and then roll onto your left side. As you roll onto your left, let your head relax down towards your mat. With your right leg, bend your knee, plant your foot right behind your thigh. We're going to hold here for about 10 breaths. It should feel pretty intense through your shoulder and through the left pec. That's exactly what we want. We want to get some extra blood flowing to that tissue and flowing to your left shoulder joint. At any time, if it's a little too intense, no worries. You can back out, just kind of rolling more onto your front side, and then come right back into the opening. 5 more breaths. Notice if you're tensing up in your left fingers, give your left fingers a little wiggle. And then let your left arm relax. Take a long breath in. And a long breath out. 2 more breaths. Slowly unwind back to your belly. Keep your left arm extended out to the left side. Lift your chest, and then thread your right arm all the way underneath your chest and underneath the left arm. So we're going to lay down onto our right bicep. Draw your left knee out to the side, and then slowly twist open. Your left arm reaches out and over. For this twist, keep your left knee rooting down, and then your left arm hovers. I like to slowly wave my arm. The slower you go, the more you're going to start to feel in your chest and in your shoulder joint. Try to find that pivot point, that point where you have the most tension. Perhaps pause when you find it, and then let your arm get heavier and heavier with your exhale. Breathe. Complete inhale in through your nose. Complete exhale out of your nose. Take 3 more breaths. When I let my arm fully relax and float in space, it creates a lot of intensity across the chest and even down into the left side. Notice where you feel a lot, where you feel an intense sensation of the body. That's how our body speaks, how our body communicates to mind. Slowly unroll. As you come back flat on the mat, take a moment resting your forehead down on your palms. Just resettling the shoulders and the hips. Take a long breath in. And a long breath out. Another inhale. Full exhale. Let's open up our chest on the right side. Send your right arm out to the side, or take that same modification, bending the elbow or dropping the hand a little lower. Plant your left palm and then roll onto your right side. This time our left leg reaches back behind. You can either bend your knee or keep it straight. It really doesn't matter what your legs do. This pose is all about the chest and the shoulder. Wiggle your right fingers and then relax through your right palm. 10 full breaths. If it feels okay to wrap your left hand across the low back, feel free to add that expansion on. Steady breathing. Steady mind. Take 5 more breaths. See the tension of your heart and the tension of your chest slowly releasing its grip. With your breath, you are moving energy in your body. Visualize that movement. What does it bring with it? Take 1 more inhale. Fully exhale. And slowly unwind. Keep your right arm reaching out to the side, and then thread your left arm underneath. Lay down on your bicep and shoulder. As you come down onto your left shoulder, start to twist open so your right arm reaches up and back while you draw your right knee out to the side. Don't worry about getting your shoulders flat on the mat. Let your right arm hover in space, and then slowly snow angel your arm. We're moving through a big rotation in the shoulder joint, so if you find a part where your shoulder like clicks or stops, just hang heavy there and breathe. Welcome a heaviness in your body. Become more and more aware of the sound of your breath in and your breath out. 2 more breaths. Slowly unroll. Resettle on the mat with your hips and your shoulders square. I like to create a little pillow with the palms and then let the forehead rest down. Ground your palms underneath your shoulders. Press back to a child's pose. Big inhale. Exhale, settle in. It's okay if you keep your hips away from your heels. Feel a full side body stretch as you root through your palms. 1 more breath. Empty out. And slowly roll up to a kneeling position. If you have blocks handy at home, grab your yoga blocks. Mine are a little bit, ours are a little bit smaller. They're a little bit shorter. So a lot of times I like to take the second height. If you have a thicker block, you can certainly leave it on the lowest setting. Find what works for you. We want to have enough space for our head to float down between the blocks. And then our blocks are going to support our elbows and our triceps to give this big opening down through the side and through the shoulders. Place your blocks a little bit ahead of you towards the front of the mat. And it's okay if you don't have blocks. You are more than welcome to use like a step stool or a stack of books. Bring your elbows onto your prop. Place your palms together. You want to walk your elbows towards like the front third of your prop. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, and then slowly start to press your forehead down between the blocks. Lift your fingers to the ceiling, and if it feels okay, draw your thumbs to the nape of your neck. Your head does not have to touch your mat all the way down, but if it does, feel free to adjust your blocks higher. If you feel you have a little bit too much expansion and too much space, feel free to adjust your blocks lower. Option to keep your toes tucked, stretching through the arch of your feet, or untuck your toes. Take 5 breaths. Each exhale, let your chest and your head get a little bit heavier. One more inhale. Full exhale. Press down through your elbows, gently lift and release. We're going to keep our blocks and bring our chest down onto the blocks. So this one is going to do more like pressure point release up in the pecs. It can get pretty intense, so no worries. We're going to hold it for about a minute, but if you need to come out and come back in, that's totally fine. Definitely challenge yourself. When you think you want to release, try to take 3 more breaths and then choose if you need to come out. Make a V shape with your blocks. So we're not going to place the edge of the blocks together. Instead, you're doing like more of a directional V. Let that come down. And then this space, like the 2 inches that we kept between the blocks, is going to fit right to the collarbones. So go ahead and walk your arms in front of your blocks. Lower your chest down. You want your chest on the inside, and then the blocks just supporting underneath the armpits. So feel free to grab the front edge, give them a little scoot, and then reach your arms out wide. Let your hands rotate, bend your elbows so your hands come like you're going to put them in your front pockets. And then from here, let your forehead and your whole head just drop heavy down. This posture requires a little bit of time to get the full benefits. But if you come in and you don't feel quite right with your placement, no worries. You can adjust your blocks or your support. And if it gets too intense, remember to release and reset. Step into your breath. Welcome this support. And with each exhale, get heavier and heavier. Visualize your tension, perhaps putting like a name to your tension, and then detach from your tension. Let it work its way out of your body, out of your chest, out of your shoulders and your neck. Fully surrender. We just have 5 more breaths. Last inhale. Full exhale. Slowly lift your head. Send your arms out wide. Ground your palms. And then gently lift yourself off of your blocks. Take a little child's pose to release. We're going to finish out this chest release and shoulder opening with a supported fish pose. Lift yourself up to a comfortable kneeling position. And you have a couple of options for your supported fish. If you're really, really tight in your chest, you want to keep your support really low so that you're not putting too much pressure through your chest and your heart, or too much pressure in the back of your neck. So if that's the case, shorten your blocks. If you have a block this size, lowest setting is plenty, and we're gonna go wide so that your shoulder blades are supported and being tucked up into the body. If you have a really open chest, you can stack both blocks on top so you have a little more height, or you can create a capital T. The capital T is my favorite. I'm gonna show you the T. And then Carson, if you wanna show the either single or double stacked where it tucks up into the shoulders. So go ahead and get your blocks set. If you are going for one block and you know that you don't want your head dropped back, go ahead and take your bolster and bring it up so you can scoot it under your neck for support. Come onto your hips. Scoot your hips a good distance away from your blocks so that when you come down, they're focused on the upper back and through the shoulders. Go ahead and start lowering yourself. Feel free to lean to the side, check in with if you're square. And if you've got your capital T, the skinny long edge of your block is gonna press right along the spine, right between your shoulder blades. And then the cross of your T is up there to support your head. If you're going for a lower, more gentle setting, you want the support of your book or your blocks or whatever prop you're using to tuck and lift your shoulder blades in order to open and expand your chest. Anything you want to do with your legs is okay. Take a long breath in. Big sigh out. Let your body get really heavy. The way that our support is pressing into the back of the heart, it's providing a really stable, concrete support so that our heart can open and expand with safety, perhaps with a little vulnerability. If you feel really exposed in your throat or your chest, welcome that exposure, welcome that vulnerable position in the body, and know that you are safe, you are held. Take 10 breaths. If you'd like to connect your own circuit, your own breath, bring your hands to the base of your lungs and then feel the movement of energy in and the cleansing of your energy out. 5 more breaths. You have the option to stay for as long as you need. But if you're ready to finish out your practice and go about your day, slowly bring your chin to your chest, plant your feet on your mat. Use your elbows to gently press down and lift up. Let's end with just a gentle forward fold. Bring the soles of your feet together. Inhale. And exhale, bow forwards. Slowly roll up. Draw your hands to your heart. Thank you so much for releasing your heart and opening your shoulders. And I'll see you again next time. Namaste. Namaste.